Hello everybody, welcome to NDTV. This week has all been about Modi 3.0 achievements in the last 100 days, and to talk about some of the important policy announcements that the government has seen in the last 100 days, we have with us the youngest minister of the Modi cabinet, Mohan Naidu, the aviation minister and the face of the TDP in New Delhi. TDP is of course the most important constituent of the NDA apart from the BJP with 16 MPs. Thank you, Mr. Naidu, for speaking to NDTV.
Thank you so much.
I will start with a very basic question. The Prime Minister some days ago said that he wants to ensure that the Indian skies are free for anybody to fly. And he says that anybody who has a dream of flying, that dream needs to get fulfilled. You are in charge of that dream. Tell us about what kind of achievements can you sort of say as shaping the future of the country that you've made in the last 100 days?
I think this has been a strong dream of Narendra Modi ji, which he has been actively pursuing for the last 10 years. I can proudly say that for civil aviation, at least under his rule for the last 10 years, there has been a strong foundation that has been laid. So it is much easier for me to take things forward from there. And taking things forward in the last 100 days, we have achieved so much success that I can proudly say that civil aviation is going to be one of the strongest partners in the Viksit Bharat 2047 that Modi ji wants to see. And some of the commitments that we have done in the 100 days, you have seen that the number of airports have increased from 74 to 157 in last 10 years. So we want to keep building up on that. I've already said it before that we want to build 200 more airports also in the coming 20 years. So if you want to keep that momentum, you have to keep it going. So in the 100 days, we have approved 5 more airport new terminal buildings and some of the important airports like Varanasi, Agra, Bagdogra and Darbhanga, Beta. So these are some of the important airports where we're increasing the terminal capacity, and it all comes out to the tune of 7,500 crores. We're increasing the capacity also. And one of the flagship schemes of Narendra Modi ji has been RCS Udan scheme. You remember the strong statement that he has made that Hawai Chappal se Hawai Jahaz tak. And we have made it a reality because of the RCS Udan scheme, Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik. It was a highly successful scheme. And in fact, if I give you the numbers of the 100 days, we have started 200 new commercial routes in the country, and 18 of them are coming from the RCS Udan scheme. So these are the new connectivity that we have given. And other than that, seaplanes, we have started new guidelines, so we want to encourage seaplanes also. And the list goes on and on.
So, Mr. Naidu, that's a lot of work and that's a lot of promise and potential. But, you know, when you talk about the soaring air prices, there's always this worry that, is that dampening the festive spirit? And I know that there's not much that the ministry can do, but of course, when it comes to narratives like, plans like dynamic price or for that matter, a price band or more regulation or advisories for that matter, how is the ministry looking at something
So
like this?
definitely this is a challenge you have to take along with the whole growth story that you're building around civil aviation, and it is a challenge which has been there for some time. And it all originates from the fact that the ministry has very little to do in capping the air prices. And we don't want to do it also, because that is the way the whole market across the world works. It is like you said, dynamic pricing is already there. It is a market driven thing, the air prices. And that is how we keep competition amongst the airlines, and we ensure that the best price is ultimately given to the passenger. But where the air prices issue comes into play is when there is a festive season. This is when the demand rises, right? You have limited number of planes, you have more and more people wanting to prefer air travel, and that is when there is a position that is created where the air prices soar up, or there are incidents where there are only limited number of airlines operating in a certain route. So, and when the demand is more. So ultimately we have seen that there are these specific instances which come up when these air prices slightly rise up. And I have promised in the house also, I said that they will put a special team together which is going to tackle this kind of issues. We might have little to do, but there is an intention that we want to keep it at an affordable this thing. And one thing that I can tell, which is a good news to the people also of the country who regularly travel through air, is that we are having 1,200 more airplanes coming into the fleet. So as more planes come into our flying sector, then automatically this more demand areas, they are going to be serviced through these planes more and more, and that is going to bring down the prices. And it's a time-taking process. As the planes come in, the highly advantaged routes, they are going to be serviced more, and it's going to benefit. And if there is any instance where the airlines is taking undue advantage, if we feel that there is a scenario when there seems to be high air prices which are like totally too much to bear, then definitely we are going to sit with the airlines. We are going to appraise them of the situation, that specific situation, and we are going to come up with a possible solution where we don't see those kind of fare prices. I would like to tell from my side, from the ministry side, that even though there is little to do, we are actively pursuing this matter. We have sensitized the airlines also. We have had a couple of meetings, and one thing is our speaker sir in the parliament itself has suggested that you have a meeting. So we have sat down with the airlines. We have sensitized this is coming time and again, and especially during festive season. Like you said, we don't want to dampen the festive spirit. And so they were also very proactive around it. And I can say that till the time being, we haven't seen a huge soar like we have seen last year. And we are going to actively pursue it.
Right. When it comes to competition, something that you touched upon, there is a lot of talk that there is monopoly in the skies or duopoly in the skies. What is the government doing with respect to increasing the competition?
Believe me, I want to see more and more people operating in this sector, but it is a very highly capital intensive sector. You need a lot of money just to buy one plane itself. If we are talking about a car, if I don't like this car, I'll get another car and I'll service the route. But this is an airplane we are talking about. It takes a lot of money to buy an airplane. So that is something which probably restricts more players to come in. But as from the ministry, I'm inviting more players to come in. Let it be global, let it be Indian. Please come, please operate in our sectors, please provide more connectivity in this. Because I know that when more planes come into the picture, then the benefit is going to go to the passenger. He's going to get a much affordable rate. So I'm open to that. And we are seeing some interest also developing. There are a lot of people who are coming in with 3 planes, 4 planes, and they want to service the lower sector. And one advantage everyone has, I can't say about things 10 years or 15 years before, but the one advantage we have today is with the commitment of Modi ji, we have created so many airports now. So the infrastructure is already there. The only thing pending is you want to bring a plane and you have to take off from there and you get all the services. Earlier you would probably think that, okay, if I want to have a connection from here, where is the airport? How far should I go? But now we have gone to remotest parts also, and we have created world-class infrastructure there. So the infrastructure is built. Now it is easier for the planes also, or for the carriers also, to decide, okay, let us operate in the southern sector. Let's operate in the northeastern sector. There seems to be demand. So we are facilitating that. I am hopeful that in the coming 2-3 years, we are going to see more companies also coming into this airline sector. And if this kind of provides an invitation from the ministry, I'm inviting that more people should come into the industry. I don't want any monopoly in this.
Absolutely. Mr. Naidu, you said this beautiful thing that small airports in smaller towns has been a hallmark of this government. Are you also looking at accelerating private investments? Because you yourself have said that in the next 30 years, we may need 400 more airports. And when are we getting that global connectivity hub like Dubai, because that's also been a dream, a Delhi airport or a Mumbai airport becoming something like that.
Very good. In fact, for the aviation hub, I would say that the work is in progress, and we are kind of accelerating on that also. We want to create Delhi as a major hub, and there is Bombay, Bangalore, Hyderabad. These all can act as hubs. Chennai also for that matter. But we are concentrating slightly more on Delhi because it has all the required infrastructure a little bit, and there is a lot more connectivity also from Delhi. So initially, to show that India can also prosper as a global aviation hub, we are making the right decisions. We are moving forward, and one important thing we are doing is we are bringing all the airlines together in our decision making. We are saying this is not just a job of one airline operator to sit and say that I'm going to create a hub. We need the connectivity, so we need to talk to the airline operators. We need to talk about all the stakeholders within the aviation sector. We have brought them everyone to the same frequency, that we are not going to compromise on not having a hub in India. We want to create the hub. So maybe in 2 or 3 years, I think we can come up with those. We can say that at that time, we are kind of facilitating India or facilitating Delhi as a hub as sorts. And when it comes to these smaller airports and privatization, there is no plan as such that we want to privatize this, we want to privatize that. It is a model which is functioning parallelly with the growth story of civil aviation. And when you say the word privatization, I want to ensure that we are not giving the land to anyone. The land is with the Airport Authority of India, or land is with the Government of India. We are just only giving it to them so that they operate it for a certain lease period. And when you see the airports like Delhi is working under this model where PPP, one operator is there. Mumbai, there is one operator. When you see Hyderabad, there is one operator. So when you bring in these private players, they bring in certain advantages also. They bring in certain qualities. Why I am saying this as a minister also is that some of the PPP model airports the country has are featuring in the top 10 airports globally also. Their rank was one of the best airports. So why not have it?
Absolutely.
Why not have the best standards for our passengers? So we are doing a mix. And if you see, out of 157 airports, water aerodromes, heliports, and everything that we have in the country, more than 120 are with the AI only,
Right.
or with us only.
Yeah.
So there is no reason to think that everything is happening, going away or anything.
Absolutely.
We are keeping the land, we are keeping everything. It is just that to increase the facilities or to bring in more investment into the airport infrastructure, this is one kind of model, and we are working it parallelly. And
Right.
there is no strict model or a strict decision being made that this is how I want to do it. It is just coexistence and kind of taking the whole industry together.
Right. Mr. Naidu, there are also these other issues like, pilot shortage or, reservations or cancellations of flights. How are you looking at, and this on-time performance of airlines, how are you looking at addressing those problems? Because that will also improve the passenger experience.
Yeah, if I break it down, as of now, I think we have done a great job in having more flight training organizations in the country itself, which is going to train pilots. And today, at this point of time, there are excess pilots. More pilots than what are required. So that's a good scenario, because we have more planes also coming into the country.
Right.
And I would like to see India produce more pilots which can cater for the global demand also, because the job situation is as such that it's a very highly paying this thing, and people can go abroad and work. So I want to create more pilots in the country, and which is the situation now. And when it comes to the passenger difficulties and delays or cancellations, we already have rules in place. And I am being very, very vocal about this, so that all the passengers know also. There are certain rules made in the ministry itself, and we are thoroughly ensuring that they're all protected and they're all implemented also. Whenever there is a cancellation, there has to be a refund process. They have to give the refund also in a specific period of time. And if there is a delay, they have to be taken care of. They have to provide the food. If it is more than a certain period of time, they have to give them alternate traveling process, and they have to give them the hotel tickets. This all is a laid out procedure. And if we find out, and we check thoroughly, if we find out that any airlines is not doing that, we penalize them also. Okay. So this is a process we follow. But sometimes, see, today everything happens in a very like in a snap. People want things to happen, but this is a slightly time-taking process, and there is an anxious traveler always.
Absolutely,
right? So that kind of creates this scenario that, oh, nothing is happening and all that. We understand that. We understand the anxiousness and the kind of emotions that the passenger goes through, and we are trying to improve our systems. We are bringing in technology, and I am ensuring that the grievance redressal system that has to be there for the passengers gets better.
Absolutely.
And that is something I can assure that within the ministry we are working on it, and the rules are there. And let them be also confident of the fact that if any misuse is being done in terms of what the passenger facilities is concerned, we are going to penalize them, and we are going to ensure that this thing. And on-time performance, I've been monitoring for the last 3 months at least, and all the airlines today have more than 75%. Okay. And I want it to be, if you ask me, I want it to be at 100%.
Yeah, but that's an improvement.
It is an improvement.
Mr. Naidu, you're the youngest minister in the Modi cabinet. In fact, I've heard that the Prime Minister reaches out to specifically younger ministers like you, because he wants people like you to get the right mentorship, but he also wants your voice to be heard in the system. Yes. Your father was also incidentally one of the youngest ministers in his time. Tell us, how was your experience been working with the Prime Minister as part of the Modi 3.0 sir?
No, initially I was little afraid compared to, I've seen Modi ji around 10 years, and he has always been this tall figure for us. No matter how many times you see him, he has this great sense of occupying the room with his presence and all that. So working with him, being in the cabinet room with him, it was kind of nervous in the beginning, but the way he encouraged, especially me, I can talk on behalf of myself. I was very new to the ministry, and I didn't know how the systems were, how to act as a minister and all that. And the first time I went and met him, and he was so encouraging. He said that, see, this is don't think otherwise, but civil aviation is the most important ministry, and it is a very personal ministry, and we have done some great work over the years. And I have specifically given, because you're a young guy and you have all the updated things, you're tech oriented, and he's talking about the youth in general, and he felt that you are going to be a perfect fit for this. I have great expectations, and I'm going to guide you, encourage you. So that kind of eased me off into the things. So I can definitely say that Prime Minister is such a person who is very accommodating, who's very listening also. When you have something to say, you don't have to feel that are you the youngest, or are you the oldest, are you coming from this party, or are you coming from this region. So these kind of inhibitions or these kind of boundaries he doesn't have.
Okay.
He is open to all suggestions, and he thoroughly listens to you. Whatever point you want to make, he thoroughly listens to you, and then he gives his feedback. And what is most inspiring is his feedback itself. Like he brings in all the experience that he has, and he, even if he speaks, like little of what he wants to say, and he's so straight to the point that you understand this thing. And one thing I've observed with him is, if you want to impress Modi, you can only impress him with your work.
Oh, that's very interesting.
You have to work hard, and that is how he'll notice you, and that is how he'll encourage you more and more.
That's a useful tip to so many other ministers and everybody else. But Mr. Naidu,
whoever wants to impress our Prime Minister, please work hard.
Work hard, yes. But Mr. Naidu, how do you see the criticism of the opposition that this is a U-turn Sarkar that is under the pressure of its allies? Because, I was noticing TDP has been very careful, when it comes to the Waqf amendments. You said that this needs more discussion. When it came to the lateral hiring part, you said this is for merit. So you've also been maintaining your political independence while making sure that you're working with the government, completely. How do you see the allegation?
I think probably they are kind of stuck back in the past, and they remember alliance of the past and all. But I think now NDA is a much stronger alliance today, and they have to kind of remember the fact that the NDA alliance, the partners who have allied with the BJP also today, are alliances which have been forged before the elections itself.
Yeah.
These are not alliances which have been brought together to form the government. These are alliances which went to the elections together, who have spoken about each other in good faith, and went to the people, got the big mandate, and then formed the government. So there is no reason of having a crack or no falling apart and all. We knew what we were getting into. We knew who was going to be the Prime Minister. We knew who was going to, how we are going to come together. So people have given us the mandate. So the fact that they are not accepting the results itself and saying that, oh, weak governance, how can it be weak? The strongest party within the NDA is with 240 seats.
Right.
When was the last time Congress got 240 seats? So this is a very strong government with a very strong commitment also. And like Modi ji keeps saying that this is the third time and he's going to work 3 times harder.
Yeah.
So we are concentrating on how to work better, whereas they are concentrating on how to drill holes in the alliance, which is not going to happen. And they are just wasting their time, wasting their energy and making these comments. And I think the whole alliance has gelled together so beautifully that everyone kind of has the same mindset that we all have some contributions to do to the country, and everyone is trying to get on with their work, how to develop the country more and more. So I think it's a very beautiful alliance that we have to do.
Right. In the context of One Nation, One Polls, you think it's a good idea because specifically your state and the Lok Sabha elections are held simultaneously.
Yes. We have the example going on in our state. MP elections, MLA elections. For the last, since 99, we have been having it together, and we have a good taste of how it is going to benefit. Now, on the other side, when you see these elections happening time and again, it takes the toll on the law and order system also, who have to shift their duties from the regular law and order and cater everything for having a free and fair election, which is also important. But when you do it time and again within the 5 years, imagine how much loss it is going to be for the common man who is expecting 24 hours the system to be upright and working towards him. So that is one of the gaps that we have identified. And other than that, so many other factors, when you have multiple elections, there is a moral code of conduct which comes into play. You can't open anything. Let us say you have a good hospital that you built. For 3 months, elections are going, no inauguration at all. How much loss it is to the common man?
Good point. That is, Mr. Naidu, there's a political bombshell that has happened in your state with Chandrababu Naidu talking about, making this huge, in the sense, the government NDTV report has come out and it has revealed that there was animal fat and beef tallow that was used in making of the Tirupati Laddus. Now, this is huge news. How do you see this? And is the state government going to do anything about it?
It is utterly disgusting, disgraceful and shocking also at the same time that they would stoop to such a low that they would even adulterate the ghee that is there, which is so precious for us. The temple, the laddu and all, it carries a great source of spirituality for all of us, especially Hindus also, not just for Andhras I'm speaking about, but all Hindus across the world also. People, how many people visit Tirupati? More than 2 lakhs a day. And so many people are coming every day with the Vishwas on Lord Balaji. And the primary thing they take back as the blessings of Lord Balaji is the laddu itself. And it has been there for 300 years. And the speciality of the laddu has always been that even if you take it back to America also, it's going to be as fresh as you pick it up from Tirupati itself. Now, for such this thing, the YSR party at that time trying to adulterate it and make such utter nonsense of this kind of thing, I think it is very, very disgusting, and we are going to take action. We are not going to leave it like this. We always knew that YCP was doing something wrong with this. They were already doing a lot of corruption in the state and all, but we felt that Tirupati itself holds some kind of spiritual barrier that you don't go into that thing. But they have breached that also. And the fact that the NDTV itself has confirmed in the report, now they are saying that it's a political vendetta and all that. We don't want to do any political this thing with the temple or the god itself, right? Unless there is a fact that's saying that. So now we have NDTV itself confirming that there was different kind of adulteration done in that. So we are going to take strict action, because this is going to be, this is for the sentiments of the Hindus and the faith of so many people who believe in Lord Balaji. Now we have to protect that sentiment.
Right.
So in terms of that, we are going to take whatever action is required, and it's going to follow. And I believe this is just the beginning of what kind of corruption, what kind of malicious activities YCP was doing in the last 5 years. I'm sure that you're going to see more of them in the coming future, more shocking news.
Right. One of my last questions to you, sir, there is a change in Chandrababu Naidu. You know, he's far more emotionally intuitive. He's people-centered now. He's going on a JCB in floods, you know, and he's giving out pensions on his own. And he's aggressive, because this Pablo Escobar is something that everyone is talking about now. So there is a difference. The politician in him has come out without any inhibitions. Bureaucracy is on the back right now. Is there a concerted attempt by the TDP to portray him like
now
this?
that you ask the question, I'm reminded of this movie, A Curious Case of Benjamin Button. There is a person who starts from old age and tries to, he's getting younger and younger by the day. I'd see that happening with him for some strange reason. Like, I think last 5 years being in the opposition and dealing with a tyranny like Jagan Mohan Reddy, I think he has kind of made a commitment to the people also that he's going to be his true self. This is his true self, I believe, that what we are seeing, because we have seen it before also. CBN was like this during 95 days when he was handling things in Delhi, when he was the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. He was a very aggressive Chief Minister, trying to follow on reforms, trying to actively pursue what he believed in, trying to be straightforward and making statements which he felt were the right for the nation, and he brought in so many reforms in that sector. But slowly he mellowed down. And I'm very happy to see that and he also says that it's not CBN today, but it's CBN 95 that you're going to see. And he's actively, I think he's making a conscious effort also, because he believes that is what the state also needs right now. Most of all, I feel that CBN is enjoying himself and enjoying the fact that he's being true to himself and not having any inhibitions or any diplomacy coming in between. He's talking what he really believes in. And I think if he bees that self, we have a lot to gain, not just from the state of Andhra Pradesh, but for the whole country itself.
Right.
Now, I've seen him interact with Narendra Modi ji also. And he is very plain in the sense of suggestions that he wants to give, and when he is interacting on national forums also. And he has some many ideas, where earlier it would have been that why concern about bigger things, I have my state and all that. But he's proactively saying that, okay, if India is moving in this direction, probably it's good to do this. So I feel that he's a resource which has to be utilized by the whole country.
Right.
And if he bees in this form, it is going to be beneficial for all of us. And I am thoroughly enjoying it, watching him. He's always been a guiding mentor for me, right from my initial days into politics. And to see this form, I think energizes us even more. And he's giving a big challenge for youngsters like us in the type of thinking that he has, the way he adopts new technologies.
Right. My absolutely last question to you, sir. What do you have to tell people who say that Andhra gets a huge share of, when it comes to budget announcements? And do you think that this government is here to stay and to grow when it comes to TDP and Chandrababu Naidu? We've seen flip-flops in the past, but how is it now?
First of all, why not? We got bifurcated. And after bifurcation, it has been a big challenge for Andhra to get back on its feet and stand. And now, once we were trying to get back in 2019, this dictator Jagan Mohan Reddy comes in and he spoils and destroys the whole state again. So now it is a challenge again. We have to come up and this thing. So what we are getting is not an undue advantage. We are getting what we rightfully were supposed to get. And this, we respect the central government also for honoring all its commitments. Like this has been some long pending demands also. And before the elections itself, there was the alliance made and we were in discussions, and we felt that we need the support of central government and especially Narendra Modi ji in getting our state back to its own feet. And So for 10 years we couldn't build our capital because for 5 years there was this confusion created by Jagannath Reddy that we'll have 3 capitals and nothing was built. Now there was a lot of reverse process that happened in the state that we were actually very, very worried on how to get back. So this is everything. This gives a confidence to the people of Andhra Pradesh also, the expectations which were created. Now if you look at the results of Andhra, out of 175 MLA seats, the NDA alliance wins 164.
Yeah, it's a sweep.
It's like unimaginable result that you can ever get in any Indian election. So when you have this much, this kind of result from the people, so the people are obviously telling that we have put complete faith in you.
Right.
You deliver to us. We believe that Chandrababu Naidu and our Deputy CM Pawan Kalyan and Narendra Modi, these are the 3 people who came together in Andhra. So we totally believe you. We are giving you 164 seats. Now we have to deliver on that.
Absolutely.
Now according to that, whatever requirements were there, the central government is doing. Amaravati was a requirement. We have to build our capital according to the Division Act. Now they are providing this thing and money for that. Polavaram, which is an important project. Now it is a national project, so central government has to take the responsibility. They have given 12,000 crores for that. And now to create more jobs and to create, see, we are providing the land also in these Orvakal and Koparthi nodes. And they are providing us with the necessary financial commitments. And also for the backward districts, there was a commitment within the act and that they have ensured that is going to be fulfilled in the coming future. So I feel that if you feel that they have to do more, then we'll have to talk with them. But I feel whatever they are doing till now is something which I have committed to and they are respecting them. And I'm very happy that NDA, even if we are 16 members, they are 240 members, BJP. We are 16 members. JDS is also around 11 members. So they are giving us the due importance. They are respecting us. If you go back before the elections, this very Congress, they were saying that Andhra is not getting anything.
Yes.
We have to fight more, we have to get in. Now they should be happy that we are getting all this.
Yes, absolutely.
Why make the comments that we are getting undue advantage and all that? They only said that we have to get all this and we are getting this. They should be happy.
That's an interesting point. Thank you, Mr. Naidu, for speaking to NDTV. That was Mohan Naidu, Aviation Minister of the country, talking about how the centre is honouring the promises that it has made to Andhra Pradesh and also all the achievements in the aviation sector that Modi 3.0 has made in the first 100 days of its governance.